Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you are unsure of what a twin flame journey is, I've included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation of the twin flame dynamic in the description box below if you're looking for something that is more in-depth in the concept of what the twin flame journey is. In a nutshell, the twin flame journey is about two people who share the same energetic soul, one soul into people, core frequency that is precise and exact. Not everyone has a twin, and not everyone meets their twin in this lifetime. But for people that have met their twin, it's typically a connection that is uncanny and unlike anything they've ever experienced. The connection becomes so intense that it builds pressure on the connection, and twins separate. There's usually a runner and a chaser dynamic, and sometimes that dynamic can flip energetically. And the separation period serves as a teaching period where each twin learns to love themselves, to discover their spiritual gifts, to deal with their triggers and their traumas, to heal those things, and to use their gifts to raise the vibration of their community and of the world. That twin flames, the union of twin flames is not actually the point. The point is that we're here to serve a greater good and a greater purpose, and that your twin acts as a catalyst to that end. If you are looking to be in union with your twin, then I wish that for you more than anything. But I do wish that for you only when your twin has met you where you are, and that you've met them where they are. Because when there's an imbalance in the connection, that's when you run into problems. So I am a twin flame. I was in separation from my twin for 7 years, no contact for 5. We came into union again last year, and it's been an incredible time. But up until that time, it was harrowing and awful and wonderful and rewarding and challenging all at the same time. So I do these readings to help twins everywhere navigate the journey. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today, twins. The first one is the What We've Forgotten Oracle deck, and a new deck to my channel that I'm so excited to use, the Princess Bride Tarot deck. And if you've ever seen this movie and love this movie the way that I do, you will also understand that Buttercup and Wesley are twin flames. Truly. If you haven't seen The Princess Bride, please go watch The Princess Bride. I'm going to take an overall energy for the earth signs and their twin flame connection. Thank you, Spirit. Number 8, which corresponds to the Strength card of the Major Arcana, that is Leo energy. Strength card talks about mastering the ego, mastering kind of all of those fears that keep us stuck in one place. And the card is the cardinal directions, which I think is very interesting. north, south, east, and west, of course, cardinal directions. But I am also now thinking about the cardinal signs. I think Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, and Cancer. The cardinal signs are the ones that introduce their element in the astrology, in the zodiac. They're the trailblazers, they're the leaders of their element. And so I feel as though earth signs, you are somehow taking the lead in showing your twin, at least energetically. It's like showing your twin how it's done. And you're showing your twin how it's done by up-leveling yourself. You're working on yourself. You're figuring out all the intricacies and the strategies and the routes that you want to take and how you want to accomplish things. Because I just see this intense map when I look at this. It's like a map in 4D. I don't know why, because I'm thinking of a tesseract. You know what a tesseract is? You ever watch the movie Interstellar? Tesseract is a concept that features very prominently in the movie Interstellar. He goes into this space of the 4D, and it's kind of like where time and space intersect on a cosmic level. I'm actually also thinking of the book The Tesseract by Alex Garland that came out, I don't even know, in the 90s maybe? It's just about stepping into a higher consciousness, a higher levels of consciousness and dimensions. It's almost like how do I explain? I'll give you an example. During the pandemic, which is when I learned how to read tarot. I learned about twin flames. I learned that I was a twin flame. It was confirmed for me. I tell this story. I have a playlist called Honey Drop Stories, and I tell this story, the background of that. But during the pandemic, right, I was furloughed from my job, my full-time job. And so we all had a lot of time on our hands if you weren't an essential worker. And so I used that time very wisely for me. And I did a lot of healing, and I was in a lot of that's when I started practicing meditation. So I learned how to meditate for hours. I can meditate for 2 hours. Which is not a lot if you're like a monk, but it is a lot if you're just like a busy person going about their day. And when after about half an hour, if you start to really get into the groove of meditation, you can see things that you don't need drugs for. I've seen some crazy stuff in meditation, like light language and codes and ciphers, and it's just like things I don't even understand. I've had visions. When I've been in meditation, I've met my twin in meditation, or I met him while we were in separation. I saw him in meditation. I healed things with him in meditation. And so there would be these times when I would just see sacred geometry or light language, and I, on a conscious level, had no idea what to make of it. It was like this. It's like, well, it's a big jumbled mess, and yet there's a structure to it. And I feel as though, with the idea of the tesseract and everything, like earth signs are really unlocking something really profound. Earth sign twins are unlocking something really profound. You're figuring it out. I'm now hearing the sound of the Gateway Experience tapes. I've been really into the learning about the GATE program and all that stuff. I was in the GATE program. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. But but I'm hearing the Monroe Gateway Experience tapes. They're on YouTube if you want to listen to them. It's in with the hemi sync. I know that I'm saying just a bunch of words right now, but if you are into astral projecting and reaching higher levels of consciousness, you've probably come across these things in your research and your exploration. I mean, if you've ever listened to the Gateway tapes, they have a very specific sound at the beginning of all of those sessions, and I am literally hearing that in my head right now. It's like a beep, boop, 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 beep. It's like that, but really, really fast and repetitive. So you could be toying with hemisync and those programs where you sync both hemispheres, right? Because I think they work independently. I don't know how the brain works, but this is what I feel. I feel as though you're accessing the pineal gland, you're accessing third eye stuff, you're like channeling things. It's like all of the neural pathways are forming, new ones are forming. You're figuring things out with relation to your twin flame connection and what it all means and what it all means to you. And you're taking the lead, which suggests that your twin might be lagging behind. I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. The first set of cards, lessons you've learned so far. The second set of cards, what Spirit is trying to teach you now. And the third set of cards, messages from your twin flame. I am only taking uprights in this reading, no reversals. One more. Yeah, I will tell you, I've done, this is the 3rd reading I've done so far. Major Arcana cards are not really flipping out for people. There's one here and there, but the Major Arcana cards are really keeping quiet. It's like Spirit is letting you do your thing. Spirit is always with you. But when the Major Arcana of the tarot kind of flips out in the reading, it shows me that they have a heavy hand in what is transpiring. But because I have seen such a distinct lack of Major Arcana cards for the twins today, I did the fire and the water signs already, because I've seen such a lack of Major Arcana, I really feel as though Spirit is by your side, but they're taking a back seat. They're letting you take the reins. They're letting you take the lead on what is happening in the material world for you. They're letting you make the decisions. And trusting you. That's another thing. It's like they're trusting you with that. Trusting the twins. I'm hearing something about like having earned it. It's like you've reached this level of spiritual maturity. And so Spirit can take a step back for a moment and just observe as opposed to interact with what is going on. That feels important because it's like you're really figuring something out for yourself. What lessons that you've learned? 10 of Wands is the first card out, 10 of Wands. If you've seen the film, you'll realize this is a very fun scene where the giant in the film is lifting these 3 characters up a rope up the side of a very impossible cliffside. 10 of Wands is a card that talks about burden, carrying a heavy load, carrying a heavy burden. You've come to the end of that cycle, though. When we look at the tarot, all of the minor arcana suits right? Wands, cups, pentacles, and swords. Each minor arcana suit runs from ace to 10, and then you have the court cards, page, knight, queen, king. So by the time we get to the 10, it's like in the wand suit, we've gone through ace through 10. We've got through all of the experiences that came before. And now we're in the last stretch of the wands suit. So we've got a lot on our back. We're carrying a lot of experience with us, right? Which can be a good and bad thing. Sometimes we just need to offload. And I'm seeing something that recently happened to me, like within the past hour. I had to offload some of the videos and data that I had on my phone because I was in the middle of recording it for the fire signs, and it said my phone storage was full. I have not had a message like that since I had the phone, and I've been recording on this phone. So I was like, what? That's crazy. How did I fill up all my storage? But I don't take anything as coincidence, right? It interrupted the fire signs reading so much so that I had to start from the beginning. And I incorporated that into their reading. And so it's coming back up again that I had to offload a lot of dead weight. And I feel as though you're doing that now, or that's rather the lesson that you've learned. You had to offload what no longer served you, so no longer was for your best and highest good, whether that's experiences, people, narratives you've told yourself, whatever it is. And because you've offloaded something, you make space for new. It's like feng shui, right? Like when we purge our homes and our offices and our desks and whatever, when we purge these spaces, then we allow new energy to come in. And I feel that's exactly what's happened with the Seven of Goblets or the Seven of Cups. This is a card known as the Spoiled for Choice card. So now we're offloading a lot of burden to be able to make room for new choices. The problem is with this card, and maybe you don't see it as a problem, but it can be a problem, is that there's confusion wrapped up with this card because it's impossible to know what to choose. And not everything in here seems that appealing. At the same time, each one yields its own reward. And so I'm seeing the letters FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. It's almost like, well, if I choose this cup, then I can't have this cup and I won't learn that lesson and whatever, right? This card can sometimes paralyze the discernment process because it's like a big diner menu, and they have 50 versions of pancakes with all different toppings, and it's so overwhelming that you're not even hungry anymore. You don't even know what to do anymore. You're just so confused by everything that it's just like, I can't. It's too much. So it just seems like the lesson that you've learned is that some parts of the connection you've had to release. And I dare say that those things that you've released are the triggers related to the connection, right? Your twin is your mirror. So, for example, the lesson that I learned through my twin flame journey, right, is that we have classic attachment styles. My twin had avoidant attachment. I had anxious attachment. I was the chaser, he was the runner. It makes total sense. And what I learned through separation, one was, what was I chasing? Why was I trying to hold on so much? What was what was my fear? What did I fear losing? And if you enter into the assumption, because that's how special the twin flame connection is, you can enter in with the assumption that you and your twin are always with each other. Whether or not you're physically next to each other is almost irrelevant. Energetically, you and your twin are one and the same. They're always in your soul. They're a part of you. You are part of them. There's no separation. Very hard for us to internalize those thoughts when we've been raised to be independent and have egos and identities and personalities. So I had to start with the assumption, okay, my twin is always with me. My twin is always with me, even though it hurt so bad to not be with him in the 3D and the physical. It's like, no, my twin is always with me, right? And if that is so, why am I scared of losing him? Because I can't lose him, because he's always there. I haven't lost anything, but I perceive that I have, but I haven't. That took me like 2.5 years of meditation and healing and whatever to just be like, and it's still hard. It's every day I missed him. It's not about not missing a person, but I was like, what? Really trying to wrap my mind around that concept. You don't have to chase anymore. You are loved. The universe loves you. You don't have to chase after love. You don't have to do that ever again. And I never did. And sometimes I can feel the triggers pop up that I want to talk to my, because I'm in union with my twin now, but we don't live in the same country, actually. So there's always this, like, oh, I want to call him, I want to talk to him. No. Just give him some space. Let him come to you. Let it be equal. Right? So every day I grapple with it. Just because I'm in union with my twin doesn't mean that all the problems went away. It's just that while in separation, I learned how to identify the triggers and then use skills that I learned to be able to not only deal with them and identify them, but also use them to my advantage. So whenever I'm missing him, right, even though I talk to him almost every day and I see him a lot, even though we live in different countries, I do see him. Sometimes when I'm just feeling the ache, I'm like, nope, let's go do something. Let's go record some videos. Let's work on our side projects. Let's focus on, things we need to accomplish around the house. Let's focus on things we need to accomplish at work, right? Because I have a full-time job. Let's focus on up-leveling ourselves. Let's focus on up-leveling other people. Focus on the fullness of your own life. And so I feel like that's what's happening right now with you. You're learning that lesson. It's tough. Again, it took me years. Not saying it'll take you years, but old habits die hard. What is Spirit teaching you now? Yeah, old habits die hard, and things can feel really tough. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is like our backs up against the wall. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're just dealing with the intensity of the knowledge of things. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. That was like a big amen from Spirit. Just like, and how, like, yeah, it's been really, like, this is really accessing your cerebral area, like your brain, your cognitive, your objective, like really looking at things and like seeing how everything affected you, how everything triggered you, how there were times when you felt like you had no choices. And yet you're still standing, you're still dealing with it, you're confronting it, you're not backing down. But this is one of the most difficult cards of the tarot. Thankfully, when we're at a 10, we go back to an ace. It starts over. The cycle starts over. The Ace of Swords, not depicted here, but inferred, talks about epiphany, breakthrough, revelation, and that coming from spirit, closing out a cycle, right? So now we have the Two of Florins, which is the Two of Pentacles in this deck. Spirit just said Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Guildenstern or Guildenstern? They're two very famous Shakespearean characters. It's like a spin-off of Hamlet, where you have these two bozo characters, and just looking at all of their idiotic decisions that led to some pretty brutal results. I don't know why that's coming up. I mean, these characters could be a representation of that classic story. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. I mean, Shakespeare didn't write that, I don't think. I think that's a play, right? But Spirit is bringing that up, so maybe you're into plays. That's really weird, because I was in my laundry room the other day, and sometimes, you know, like I live in an apartment building, and so when people move out, they just put all their old books and, you know, things that they don't want for other people to take. And I was looking at that in our little library that we have in our laundry room, and it was an entire stack of plays. I didn't see that play, but it was an entire stack of plays. So maybe you're a playwright, maybe you're an actor, maybe you're a lit major or a drama major, a theater major. So take that as it resonates. That's just an aside. The Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Florins, talks about juggling back and forth, multitasking. Eventually, though, we're going to have to put something down. And so Spirit is showing that to you right now, what it is that you need to prioritize. You can't prioritize everything. It's almost like, let's just deal with the problem that's right in front of us. It's crucial, Spirit just said, that you don't try to spin all the plates. You got to prioritize something really important in your life. I'm going to ask for a clarifier. What is that the earth signs need to prioritize at this time, Spirit? Twins, what do we need to prioritize? Okay. The Five of Goblets, the Five of Cups. Five of Cups can talk about melancholy, can talk about depression. There's this sense that there could be substance abuse, right? If you are familiar with this scene in the movie. Right? I'm not going to get into it because it's kind of a brutal scene, but like, basically you have to choose from which cup to drink. But I do feel like that there could be substance things. If you are dealing with some substance issues, right, please use your discernment and seek help where you need it, where you can access it, where you can find it. But Spirit is bringing it up for a reason. Maybe there's been a little too much drinking, a little too much partying, a little too much numbing. And Spirit is calling it could be not having nothing to do with substances, but it could be like addiction, like to shopping or I don't know, something like that. Because now I see the Devil card in my mind's eye. Spirit is asking you to prioritize your health, your mental and emotional health specifically, which is always wrapped up in your physical health as well. But your emotional health is most important. I feel as though it could be neglected. What is the message from your twin flame? Seven of Florins or Seven of Pentacles. This came out for water signs as well. Message from their twin. It's this idea that they're reevaluating their actions and their decisions, their investments. They're reevaluating and trying to decide if they want to continue along this path or move on to a different one. And it's clarified by the Page of Goblets or the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, the cups are all about love and emotion, compassion. I think your twin is trying to figure out the path back, trying to figure out the path back to you. Let's see. I don't know if you're the runner in this dynamic. They want to try and find their way. It could just be happening in the astral realm or the dream state where they're seeing you, right? Because here's the princess on the horse. Here's that horse, but where are you? Oh, it's bringing back kind of traumatic. It's how deep it runs, right? Like, I'm in union with my twin, and it's still, I remember what it felt like to be in separation from him. I'm reminded of that every once in a while, and it hits me like a ton of bricks. And it just gets so, the pain that was in that space is still really, it's like right there, right? And I'm working on healing it. But I used to have dreams, right, in separation, where I knew my twin had been there wherever I was in my dream. If I was in, I remember specifically, like, I was in some kind of like housing complex, and I was running up and down streets, and I was like running up a specific driveway of a house I'd never seen. It's not his house, but it was like a house I'd never seen. And I could feel that my twin had just been there. Like 2 minutes earlier, he had just been there. And, you know, all that was left was the car and the driveway or whatever. And like, I was always searching for him, but I could only rarely did I see him. Once I saw him on his actual birthday in the 3D, I went to sleep that night and I saw him in my dream. Like, I actually could put my arms around him and hold him. And it was on his birthday. I remember that was one of the years. But this is a very triggering thing for me, and Spirit's bringing it up. Or like, I'm not trying to talk about my twin, but I am trying to relate to what the message, which is this sense that your twin is trying to search for you, search for their proverbial or metaphorical, not proverbial, metaphorical way back, to symbolic way back to you. But they're trying to figure out where you are. There's this remnants of you having been there. So they're lovingly scheming, and they want you to know that. But man, if this is the map that they're working with, and this is the map that you're working with, you could be making it difficult for them. I just have to say it. So I'm on the 3rd floor of my apartment building, and I just have to tell you, my windows are closed, but there is a bee, right? And I take bees very personally because my name is Honey, right? So anytime I see a bee, it's a sign, right, of like looking for the sweet reward. You're looking for the treasure, and that treasure is you. You're not making it easy. And you know what? Let me not tell you how to be. Let me not tell you what to do. I'm just relaying the message. That's your reading, twins. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.